I think the vast majority are going to sail through.
Yeah, I'm not asking you about Marco Rubio.
Yeah.
Van, what do you think?
I think it's a big test. I mean, why do we have a Senate? Apparently the president thinks that the Senate is supposed to be a rubber stamp for him. The reason America is strong and great and has been so for 2.5 centuries is because we have those three co-equal branches, and nobody is right all the time. And so you need those senators who have that 6-year cushion that we're talking about to be above the fray and to put the country first. And so far, we've seen very little evidence that this Republican Party is going to say, we don't care if Donald Trump has his feelings hurt. We don't want the Department of Justice run by a Fruit Loops Looney Tune dude. Like, at some point, you got to hear some Republicans actually say that there is a standard that they want this president to meet. Until that happens, you have to assume they're going to roll over for him like they rolled over on so many other things.
Kate Bedingfield, after your conversations with Democrats, rank these confirmation picks in you don't have to do them all, but the most horrifying to Democrats, and just give me the top 4 or 5.
I mean, so I think it sort of depends on who you're talking to. I think there is a genuine horror about Matt Gaetz because of what he represents. Obviously, both these accusations about things that he has allegedly done with minors, which is deeply, deeply problematic. But also what he would do at the Justice Department in terms of following Trump's orders to do things that potentially fall outside the scope of the law. So I think there's a lot of horror about that. There's a lot of horror about RFK Jr. and what, the things that he has said about vaccines, about medical science. I think there is a real concern that he, it poses a potential threat to communities around the country, that some of these, these elected officials have to go home to their families, to the people they know, to their neighbors, and deal with the ramifications of somebody running HHS who doesn't believe in medical science. So there's a lot of concern about him, too. There's concern about Tulsi Gabbard being at DNI, being, quite literally in charge of America's intelligence secrets and being somebody who has a history of...
That's top 3.
So, should we keep going?
No, Chris, there's many positions. Yeah. I just want a top 3. But on the subject of our RFK Jr., Bulwark unearthed this video from August 2020 where they say RFK Jr. was implying that the U.S. government might have actually planned the COVID pandemic. Take a listen.
Many people argue that this pandemic was a plandemic, that it was planned from the outset, that it's part of a sinister scheme. I can't tell you the answer to that. I don't have enough evidence. A lot of it feels very planned to me.
Okay, so I can tell you the answer to that. I have enough evidence, and that's insane. That's not what happened. Horrible. David,
yeah, look,
this isn't even a Republican.
Look,
this isn't even a Republican. Why is your party expending?
Listen,
Donald Trump was president when COVID broke
Democrats.
Out.
I saw this.
Was
great,
Donald Trump
in
on the pandemic? Trump was president.
No,
so
no,
what's
listen.
he saying there?
I saw this great thing on social media with Elon, Tulsi, RFK, like Democrats elected Donald Trump, right? So these are Kate's folks.
Yeah. How
but listen, the president's got a great deal of political capital after this election, right? And how he chooses to expend that political capital is going to be instructive. He could do lots of things. Is he going to burn it all up on getting these people confirmed, or is he going to use it for other things, right? He's going to close the border. He's got all these things he wants to do, but you only have so much, right? You can only go to the well so many times before members they start kind of shrugging, right? And so I think he's going to get a lot done. I think he's going to get a lot of these members done. And the most consequential is, of course, in this instance, is whether Matt Gaetz becomes the attorney general or not. And so how much political capital is going to put behind that, we're going to see.
Van, CNN is reporting that right-wing media personality and former Secret Service agent Dan Bongino, we by the way, like years ago, we would have him on to talk about Secret Service issues on this show. He is being considered for Secret Service director. Here's to some of what he said on his podcast today on how he views the new administration.
Cutesy time is over, and we led the way. And a lot of people are recognizing that, folks. Cutesy time is over. I'll say again today on Wednesday, people are policy, and it is time for us, because we are the news, to double down on the MAGA agenda.
Van, you're going to have to stop being so adorable, because cutesy time is over. No, but seriously, in all sincerity, that does reflect an attitude of so many of these picks, which is It's time to really, really shake up Washington. And a lot of people think, a lot of Trump supporters think, that he went with establishment picks last time, and that was a horrible idea. He wasn't able to really drain the swamp, and now that's what they're doing.
You have to believe a lot of things that are not true for this to make sense. What is the problem you're trying to solve with our intelligence services? We get a chance to walk around here and not have bombs blowing up all over the place because our intelligence services are doing a fantastic job keeping us safe. If you think that sending a wrecking ball through our intelligence services, putting people in charge whose main qualification is that they're pugilistic, like to pick fights, and like Donald Trump a lot, if they do, that's going to make America a lot safer. The people who are going to pay the price for this experiment are people who are going to lose their lives here and overseas. And so you have to believe things that are not true. Our intelligence services are the best in the world. They don't need to be shaken up and burned to the ground. Same with our law enforcement agencies. They don't need to be shaken up and burned to the ground. And if you do, everything that comes as a consequence of the disruption is on your hands here and abroad.
Kate, can I just say, I remember one of the first big stories I broke at the White House in 2009 was that Tom Daschle's nomination to be HHS secretary was in trouble because he owed $100,000 in back taxes for a limo.
Yeah, no, limo. That's right. You're right. It was car service.
I mean,
quaint times.
Simple times,
it
right?
It wouldn't even register. It wouldn't even register on the scale today, which is, we laugh because sometimes you kind of have to laugh or you'll cry, but there are real ramifications, and it's frightening.
Listen, I would give Bongino a chance. Bongino was a Secret Service agent for a long time. No, I'm just saying for the American public writ large.
Yeah.
Dan's a serious guy, and if you're Donald Trump and you've had somebody shoot at you twice, once, and almost another time, I'd want somebody in that job.
Sure,
right
absolutely.
Yep.
There need to be improvements to the Secret Service without question, and I said he used to come on the show.
No,
what greater testament can I give to somebody than they used to be on their show? Man, I got to let you go.
Jake Tapper giving him the endorsement.
That's what I'm going to say. It's the best thing I can say. He used to come on the show all the time. Thanks to one and all. The president-elect announced a new name for the role of U.S. ambassador to NATO. I'm getting a reaction from an Iraq war veteran turned U.S. senator, plus a case that captivated the nation 3 decades ago. Susan Smith. She was convicted